Have you ever struggled talking about yourself on stage, on webinars, on podcasts, thinking that your story is just fluff and your audience wants to get to the meat and potatoes of the information that you have to share? Well, you're not alone. But skipping this part of your story and skipping sharing who you are could be costing you clients, credibility, and influence. And so today I'm going to show you an incredible tool to add to your storytelling and speaking arsenal. Your authority story is the key to powerful speaking. And I'm going to show you how to structure it using a simple 3-act framework and how to create your own in just minutes with my tool, the AI Authority Story Creator. Many experts and entrepreneurs think that their value lies in their content, the frameworks that they have to share, and the offers that they have to make. But here's the hard truth. People buy from those who they trust, not those who inform. How many times have you heard a speaker give a talk packed with insights, information, but by the end, the audience claps and then does nothing? Maybe it's happened to you. It certainly happened to me in the past. And if you've ever felt like you're speaking into the void, it's not just because of your content. It's the lack of connection and context and trust that makes the information valuable. And this is why your authority story matters. An authority story is a short, compelling narrative that establishes your credibility, builds trust, and makes your audience see you as the guide they have been looking for. Stories activate emotion, and emotion drives action, and action leads to results. So when your audience sees themselves in their journeys, they're going to trust you to lead them. Now that you know why an authority story is essential, let's break it down into a simple 3-act play format. This will help you tell your story in a way that resonates deeply with your audience. The 3 acts of the 3-act play are 1, the pain, 2, the pivot, and 3, the progress. Let's start with Act 1. This is where you reflect your audience's struggles in your story in a moment from your life. You share that moment that captures their frustrations, fears, or challenges, something that they can relate to. And even though it's your moment, you want to paint their language about how they're experiencing the problem that they solve onto your story. Act 2 is the pivot. This is the turning point, the moment that you make a decision to change. And here you introduce the key insights or realizations, how you wanted to craft your solution and what you wanted to make better, easier, faster about your solution and your process that would set you apart from your competition. And then Act 3, the progress. Here's where you show the results, the benefits you now experience that your audience desires. This mirrors the transformation that they want and reinforces the promise of your talk, your webinar, or your podcast. Your authority story isn't just for your bio. It's your opening act to build trust in your signature talks, your podcast interviews, your joint ventures, webinars, or sales calls. This is a very useful and versatile tool that you can use over and over again and for many different offers, audiences, and problems that you solve. Now, I have been helping experts and leaders craft their authority stories for nearly a decade. And I know that crafting a compelling authority story can feel overwhelming, which is why I developed the AI Authority Story Creator. With just a few prompts, this tool will help you structure your story using the 3-act play format so you can craft a story that connects, builds trust. With just a few prompts, this tool will help you structure your story using the 3-act play format so you can craft a story that connects, builds trust, and positions you as the go-to authority. I'm going to switch over my screen now and show you how I have done this in this tool so that you can start taking action on this right away. Okay, here we are in the Authority Story Creator. It's going to give you a little bit of instructions. It's going to give you a link to the same video that you just watched and give you a little bit of simple setup. Now that we know what Act 1 is, we're going to start there. And I have put some inputs in here. If you want, you can pause the video and read through what I have done and read through some of its suggestions. But to keep this video short and fast, we won't go through all of these all of the time. One pro tip I have is using the transcription or voice feature of ChatGPT. And the app, I use my phone, and I like to talk into my phone to create this, which is a lot faster than typing. So this makes this process a lot faster and smoother than I copy it from my phone and paste it into here. So we will read a couple of these. My ideal client is health and wellness experts. They have a lot of talent and a lot of value to offer, but when they speak, it does not seem to come across. They get compliments when they give talks and webinars, but nobody takes action. On sales calls, they fire hose their prospects with information, and the harder they try to share their value, the less they seem to get it. They think they need more expensive certifications or experience before people will trust them. So it's going to thank us for sharing some information on their ideal client, give us a little bit of information back on what it's hearing and what it's feeling from us, and then give us some more suggestions on how we can get more specific, more emotional, more powerful, and explain why this is important. And then again, it's going to continue to say, okay, here's what I'm hearing from you. And would you be willing to share a specific moment from your life? So right here, I share one of my stories when I hosted an online summit and was making the same mistakes that a lot of these health experts were making when I spoke. And nobody ended up buying my product or the group program that I wanted to offer. Thanks us for sharing this pivotal moment. And then again, it's really going to challenge you to get more specific, more emotional, more powerful with each one of these. It asked me about my inner dialogue, what was going on in my head. And this is an opportunity to be honest with what I was experiencing and to really consider how I can describe what my ideal client's experience was in this as well. The more specific you can be in terms of time, speaking about a specific Tuesday afternoon at 3:54 p.m., you were sitting at your desk and having this, the more that you can bring this close into a moment and bring in details of a specific moment in time, the more powerful this authority story creator is going to be. It's going to give us information back. And then sometimes it might be challenging you too much, or you might feel that it has enough information, and you can always tell it to move on and move forward to the next act. You are the guide and you are in charge, and this is your assistant and helper here. It's going to go through the several different acts and continue to ask and construct and reflect your story with you. It's going to ask for names and help you come up with names. Once you've given it all of its information, it's going to ask to review the key details of each of the acts and then construct a fully completed, finalized story for you here. If you want, you can have it build out in one act at a time and add in more detail and more information, or it can have it all together. This is going to make this process very simple, much more powerful, and make it easy for you to create an authority story that speaks to your ideal clients in a way that you have never done on your own. Please let me know if you have any feedback or insights on how I can make this tool better or more powerful. And if you create an amazing story with it, please reach out to me and let me know what you've done. This tool is still in a very early beta phase, and there's lots that we can do to improve it with your help and with your feedback. So enjoy.